All right, y'all. So, what I'm about to talk about has already been out there for a couple of days now. I'm so mad I just now saw it, but it seems like HBO does not think that fans were annoyed by season two, any fans, I guess. And I think that's the same kind of delusion that gave us Game of Thrones season 8. Let's talk about it. So yeah, I saw this and I was like, I just gotta take it to y'all. So Casey Bloys, right? He is this big HBO boss. And he did an interview with Deadline recently about the upcoming shows and Emmys and whatever, new seasons of shows and stuff like that. And I wanted to show you this exchange that happened. So Deadline asks Casey this, looking ahead to next Emmy season, you already have House of the Dragon. What do you think about its Emmy chances with fans being divided over season two? And it's just like, okay, that's a fair question because we had this controversial ending or just very divisive ending, season finale especially. A lot of us didn't like how it was paced. So it's just, I think it's a very fair question. And then Casey Bloys gonna answer, well, I'm not sure that the fans were divided over season two. And it's just like, okay, so which social media were you on, honey? Which internet were you on? Because I would love to be on that. I guess I would love to be on that one, where there's just peace and quiet and nothing happening all the time. Because if you were on anybody else's internet, babes, you would have seen that fans definitely were divided. Over season two. What are you talking about? And then he takes it even further because Deadline said, well, maybe just George R. R. Martin, was divided over. And then Blois says, yes, well, maybe one fan was. But no, the show did really, really well. I expect that will be in competition. I have high hopes for Penguin. He said, we got White Lotus coming back, Last of Us, blah, blah, blah. So he's talking about Emmys. And so I was just like, I really have to take this and break this down for my girls, for my channel, because to me, to really look in my face and tell me that fans were not divided over season two, like weren't divided over the pacing, over how certain events unfolded, over characters missing, over that finale. Like, come on now. To look in my face and say that to me is really ridiculous. Like, it would be one thing if HBO had said, yes, we know that the fans were divided, but due to constraints or creative differences or choices, we made the best decisions that we could have with the show. We hope that fans will stick along for the ride and judge the story in its entirety. To me, saying something like that makes more sense, right? Like, even if you were going to double down on all the decisions, all the creative choices that you made, like, to me, there's a way to do it that doesn't make it feel like you think the fans are stupid. Like, there's a way to do it. But let's move on to this second point, because in response to Casey Blois's claim that he's not sure if the fans were divided over season two, Deadline essentially says, okay, well, maybe just George R. R. Martin was the one, who had disagreements with how the show is being run. And then Casey essentially gonna say, well, yeah, maybe one fan was, maybe George R. R. Martin, maybe one fan was. And it's just like, to sit here and call the author of the books you're adapting so that y'all can fill up your bank accounts, to sit here and call him a fan is so unnecessary. It's just so ridiculous and unnecessary to me. Like, even if people are going to argue that, okay, it's just a joke, you don't have to take it that seriously, Casey was just joking, like, blah, blah, blah. Even the tone of this entire thing is so dismissive, because it's like, so let me get this straight. Y'all are already trying to regain the fans' trust after that fiasco of an ending with Game of Thrones, right? Like, y'all already trying to regain people's trust. And yet the fans have been divided yet again by a season/season finale. And on top of that, y'all done made the author angry. It's too much going on right now, HBO, for y'all, especially in the franchise of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. Like, it's too much going on over there for y'all not to just be bowing down to the fans, to be kissing George R. R. Martin's ring, like to be bending the knee to him. Like, it's way too much going on for y'all not to be kissing up. Like, what do you mean? Like, you mean to tell me that the person who created this world, right, and the people who are supposed to be consuming the media from this world, Both of those, they're not satisfied. Like, this is why I made that video talking about HBO's flimsy response to George's scathing blog post where he was talking about the terrible decisions on that. I mean, obviously, in his opinion, that the showrunners are making on House of the Dragon. Like, you can watch that video by checking the link in my description. But in HBO's response, they seemed just as dismissive as Casey Bloys seemed in this Deadline interview to me. And so in the video I posted, I was talking about, like, I posed the question, is this business model sustainable? Can you actively disappoint both the author of the works that you're adapting and also the fans that are consuming it, and think that you can actually build a strong cinematic universe with George's work? Like, what do y'all think? Y'all think I'm reaching? Or do you think it's sustainable? Do you think it's not? Like, because Casey Bloys, like any other suit, seems to be only focused on the numbers, right? And obviously it makes sense if you're, an executive, you're just going to be zeroing in on the numbers, which is why I cannot for the life of me understand why they think they have authority when it comes to creative decisions. Y'all are numbers people. Like, please leave the art to the artists. Anyway, to me, Casey kind of dismisses what the fans think, what they're saying, and justifying this dismissal by saying, well, the show did really, really well, and it's like, okay, yeah, the show might have, and it might continue to, and it will continue to. But will the other shows you're trying to do have a strong enough foundation to uphold this cinematic universe that y'all are trying to do? Because even from House of Dragon season 1 to season 2, the numbers have already dropped, right? They've already dropped. It's still very successful, clearly, right? Millions of viewers, but the numbers have dropped nonetheless. This is also coming from Variety because House of the Dragon season 1 premiere garnered over 10 million viewers. Episode 2 after that got 10.2, whereas the season 2 premiere brought in only 7.8 million viewers as opposed to the 10 million from the season 1 premiere. Now, if you're comparing the finales, season 1 finale of House of the Dragon finished with 9.3 million viewers, whereas season 2 finale garnered 8.9 million viewers. So yes, obviously it's a very successful show. It's a successful show. It's making y'all money. It's filling up y'all bank accounts, clearly. But the numbers seem to be going down, and they're not going up as you would want them to, right? As more people are, learning about your show, like, you would want the views to be at least consistent, but going up, right? Clearly, I'ma still be watching the show as much as I'm dragging. Like, I'm gonna watch the show, clearly. Many people are, and if spinoffs have dragons and magic, you hear what I said? If spinoffs have dragons and magic, I'll definitely try to watch too. But like I said in the other video I made, after a while, a line will be drawn. It will inevitably be drawn. Like, if the quality of something keeps dropping and dropping and dropping, after a while, I'm going to get annoyed and stop watching. I think HBO definitely has time to fix this and correct course. But if they're trying to build a cinematic universe with this attitude and strategy and treating the fans like this and treating the author like this, I'm not sure how long it will last. Like, that's just it. I could be wrong. Like I said, I ain't no business person. I ain't no industry person. I'm just making guesses. I could be wrong, and they just make, bazillions and gajillions of dollars off of this, and the quality continues to decline, whatever. But I don't know. I want to see what y'all think. Do y'all think that it's headed down a road that they might not be able to come back from, even though maybe the complete disaster, the complete fiasco is years into the future? I'm just seeing, like, if we continue to descend down this path of like, oh, well, F what the author's saying and the fans don't know what they're talking about either, it's not going to look too good, in my opinion. It's not going to look too good. So let me know what y'all think. Love y'all so much. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you check out my Patreon at patreon.com/AvatarAdrian, and I'll check y'all out later. Peace. Make sure that you're going to www.zaraxia.com. When you join the wait list there on the site, you will be the first to be notified when I drop my sequel. Also, you'll immediately get chapter 1 of my upcoming sequel of the upcoming book sent to your email as a PDF. So check that out. Also, this is a different excerpt from my upcoming book, so you definitely want to pause to read if you're trying to get your life. Keep in mind that This upcoming book, the sequel, is following up the first book that is already released called Zoraxia Wrath of the God King. I released it a few years ago. It was my introduction to writing, fantasy and stuff. So just go easy on me. But either way, as you can see here, it's given 4.9 stars. It's given 4.9 stars. So yeah, check out Zoraxia Wrath of the God King while you wait for Zoraxia The Vengeance of Coldwind, right? And go to Zoraxia.com, sign up, join the waitlist, get your free chapter. Thank you so much.